Lee from Bell Direct joins us now to give us her views on what was moving the market today. Julia, good to talk to you as always. In the end, it was a pretty choppy session, wasn't it? But in the end, a positive finish.
Right, if you have a look at what happened on the Australian share market today, a lot of our movement was powered along by the Shanghai Composite. Now, yesterday there was a lot of concerns about the Chinese market because we saw falls of almost 7% on that particular market, and in the month of August, the market was down by about 21%, confirming that the Chinese stock market's looking at a bear market at the moment. But today on the Chinese market, we did see a much better performance. At the moment, we are seeing a rise of 0.8% on the Shanghai Composite. So we've seen the Australian market really track along with the gains in China. Our market closing up 0.8% at the highest close for 2009 so far. Now in China, we did see some positive manufacturing numbers out. We saw the manufacturing PMI come in at a reading of 54, indicating expansion in that manufacturing sector. So that was good news. On the Australian market today, though, we saw the banks as well as Woolworths and Wesfarmers really supporting the Australian market. ANZ had another good day. Yesterday, we saw the stock gaining 4.1%, and that was after its 10-month update to the market, indicating that bad debts may have bottomed out. Today, that continued on. We saw that stock up by 3.3% as broker upgrades for the stock flowed through this morning. On the downside, though, we did see energy coming under pressure because of the lower oil prices. We saw Woodside Petroleum down by 0.9%, but we saw the big miners, BHP, Billiton and Rio Tinto, having a good day. Fortescue wasn't able to follow suit. It was actually down by 2.5%. We saw Credit Suisse start coverage on this particular stock with an underperform, so that wasn't good news for the stock today. But otherwise, a great day for the Australian share market, a new closing high for 2009 and a rise of 0.8%.
And Julia, is it important too that we've closed above that 4,500 point level?
4,500 is, I guess, a psychological mark. The market seems to like those rounded numbers. But if we have a look at the main areas of support and resistance, the support level for the market at the moment is around about that 4,400 point mark. And the resistance really is at a Fibonacci line, 4,600 or just under that point at the moment. I guess they're the two main tests for the Australian market. At the moment, though, we are seeing the Australian market keeping a close eye on what China does. So I guess one eye on the US, but more than the US at the moment, China seems to be having the biggest influence on our market.
Yes, and it's all over the shop, isn't it? Now, just to some company news, Nexus flagging that capital raising today. What did you make of this?
Nexus has flagged a capital raising. Its shares are in a trading hold at least until Thursday, or when an announcement is made to the market. Now, it hasn't actually specified how much it is looking to raise. This capital raising is because it has been facing delays at its long-term project. Now, back in May, Nexus actually arranged to sell half of this project to AED Oil, but it doesn't look like they're going to be able to sell it until this gas facility is completed, and that's really why they're looking at this capital raising to help fund the completion of that particular gas facility. If we have a look at Nexus's share price, this is its share price in 2009 so far, and you can see the company has had quite a bit of trouble. It was in suspension for a long time. It came out of suspension announcing that deal with AED Oil, which was hoped to finance some of the projects going forward for the company. But because of the delays it's seen in this project, it's now had to go back to the market, and it's looking at a capital raising now. If we look at how much it's possibly looking to raise, at its June update, Nexus did say that it would need around about another $63 million to complete the project, taking the total project cost to about $315 million. So we could be looking at the capital raising of around $40 to $80 million for Nexus Energy. So Nexus Energy in a trading hold until that's done, and it's really because of some of the delays it's faced in its long-term project. It's hoping to get it up and running by October the 15th and start the export of gas shortly afterwards.
And just finally, Julia, interest rates obviously on hold today, but we did see the Aussie dollar have a bit of a sell-off after that news came through.
If we have a look at the Aussie dollar, we did see quite a dramatic reaction from interest rates remaining on hold. And if I bring up the Australian dollar, this is what it looked like from about 11 a.m. this morning. So 11 a.m. it was really trading sideways. We saw this the currency jump up an hour ahead of the meeting. And I guess that was on the expectation that in the statement today we'd hear a bit of a hawkish bias and perhaps some indication of when interest rates may go up. Instead, once that statement was released, we saw saw that neutral bias remain in place, there was really no indication of when rates would go up. And of course, that was a negative for the currency. So we did see the currency drop off. We have seen a little bit of a recovery, but we're still seeing it under the level before that interest rate announcement, so at 84.2 US cents. I guess one of the reasons why the currency market has been quite hawkish about interest rates is that the Reserve Bank governor, when he gave his semi-annual testimony to the government, the Parliament Finance Committee, he was quite hawkish in his comments, and that's led the market to price in 2 interest rate rises before the end of the year. Now, with that statement coming out today, we've seen a paring back of those expectations, so we may see 1 interest rate hike before the end of the year, but that adjustment in expectations has been what's behind the Aussie dollar fall.
And of course, Julia, we get to see you tonight and ask you all the questions possible about the share market and its direction on Your Money, Your Call.
8 p.m. tonight.
Look forward to it. Thank you.
Thanks, Bridie.